Why it feels like there's never enough time in the day. Welcome to Rethink Your Perspectives blog, your trusted space for unlocking potential, empowering mindsets, building productive habits, and boosting motivation. Today we're discovering why it feels like there's never enough time and how to regain control using focus, priorities, and simple habits. Don't forget to join the mailing list on the website for weekly updates and powerful tools to support your growth. And we hope you get some benefit from these posts, and we'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't hesitate to like, share, and comment at the links at the bottom. So why it feels like there's never enough time in the day. Do you ever feel like you're constantly chasing the clock? You start the day with a plan, you've got good intentions, you know what needs to be done, and yet somehow the day disappears. By the evening, you're left wondering, where did the time go? Why didn't I get more done? Why does it feel like there's never enough time? It's a frustrating cycle, and one that so many people experience. But here's something worth considering. What if the issue isn't that you don't have enough time, but that it feels that way for a completely different reason? The feeling of not enough time is real. And let's be clear, this feeling isn't imagined. It is very real. When your day is full, your mind is busy, and your energy is stretched, it can genuinely feel like time is slipping away from you. Common signs you might recognise: feeling constantly rushed or constantly rushing from one task to another, feeling behind before the day's even started, a never-ending to-do list, struggling to switch off at the end of the day. This isn't about laziness or lack of effort. In fact, it's often the opposite. You're doing a lot, but it still doesn't feel like enough. Perception versus reality. What's actually happening? Here's where things get interesting. Time itself hasn't changed. You still have the same 24 hours in a day as everyone else, but your experience of those hours can feel completely different depending on how focused you are, how clear your priorities are, and how much mental space you have. Think of it like this. An hour spent scrolling, switching tasks, and feeling distracted feels very different to an hour spent focused and fully engaged. Same amount of time, completely different experience. And this is where perception comes in. So why it feels like there's never enough time. Let's break down some of the most common reasons behind this feeling. Firstly, your attention is constantly being pulled in different directions. We live in a world full of distractions: notifications, emails, messages, social media. Each one might only take a few seconds, but together they fragment your attention. What this leads to is slower progress, more mistakes, tasks taking longer than they should, and as a result, it feels like time is disappearing. Secondly, you're trying to do too much at once. Multitasking might feel productive, but it rarely is. Switching between tasks drains your mental energy, reduces your focus, increases the time it takes to complete each task. And the result? You're busy all day, but nothing feels fully finished. Third, your priorities aren't clear. When everything feels important, it's hard to know where to start. So you jump between tasks, react to whatever feels urgent, end the day feeling like you didn't focus on what mattered. And this creates a constant sense of being behind. Fourth, your energy levels are being ignored. Some parts of your day naturally feel easier than others, but when you try to push through low energy periods, everything feels harder. Tasks take longer, focus drops. And once again, it feels like there's not enough time. And fifth, you're relying on motivation instead of habits. Motivation comes and goes. When you rely on it, some days feel productive, others feel like a struggle. This inconsistency creates gaps in progress and adds to the feeling that time is slipping away. A different way to look at time. At this point, you might be noticing a pattern. None of these issues are actually about time itself. They're about attention, priorities, energy, and consistency. Time hasn't changed, but how you're experiencing it has. So how to start feeling more in control of your day? The good news is this is something you can change, not by trying to squeeze more into your day, but by changing how you approach it. So firstly, focus on one thing at a time. Instead of juggling multiple tasks, choose one. Ask yourself, what is the most important thing right now? Give it your full attention, even if for only 30 minutes. Second, set clear daily priorities. Rather than a long to-do list, try this. Choose 3 tasks for the day. So 1 main priority and 2 supporting tasks. Anything else you get done is a bonus. This creates clarity and reduces overwhelm. Third, work with your energy, not against it. Notice when you feel most alert and focused. Use those times for your most important work. Save lower energy tasks for when your focus naturally dips. Fourth, reduce unnecessary distractions. You don't need to eliminate everything, but small changes can make a big difference. Turn off non-essential notifications, create short focus windows, and keep your workspace simple. And fifth, build consistency over time. You don't need a perfect day, you just need to show up regularly. Small consistent actions will always feel more manageable and more effective than trying to do everything at once. The shift that changes everything. So instead of asking, why don't I have enough time? Try asking, how am I using the time I already have? This question puts you back in control. It shifts your focus from something you can't change to something you absolutely can. You don't need more time. If you've ever been feeling like there's never enough time, it's easy to assume you need more hours in the day. But in reality, time isn't the problem. You're not the problem. The approach might just need adjusting. And time is simply a measurement. You can't create more even if you were a higher being or had all the money in the world. So where to go from here? If this has resonated with you, you'll likely find this next step really valuable. I recently delivered a talk that explores this idea in more depth called What If Lack of Time Isn't the Issue? You can watch the video on the main blog or on my YouTube channel. It challenges the way we think about time and offers a fresh perspective on what actually makes a difference. So what do you think? You don't need to rush through your days trying to keep up with time, because time isn't something that's running away from you. It's simply there. And when you shift your focus to your attention, your priorities, and your habits, you may find that you had more control than you realised all along. If this has inspired you to rethink your own time management, explore my other posts in the Knowledge Centre, or to learn more about how I can help you apply these principles in your own life, you can message me here, connect on social media, or book a free discovery call. To your continued success, Jay. Rethink your perspective.